people. Welcome to Writing with Clarice Corinn. I am Clarice Corinn, certified life coach and serial entrepreneur. Today I would like to be discussing a part of the ascension process, more notably shadow work, and a term I heard recently that I really like. I think it describes the journey to this part of the ascension process pretty well. It's the dark night of the soul. So we're going to be discussing the dark night of the soul and shadow work. So the dark night of the soul begins when a person has deemed themselves worthy or has become woke enough to realize they have a purpose and they're tired of living in their lower self with that lower energy, right? They're tired of working and acting from devil energy, right? Since we're all human, we are vibrations, right? Energy has a certain vibration. Everything has a vibration. So when you're doing negative things, when you're acting in your lower self, you are vibing low, okay? And so with that vibing low, like I discussed in my previous video, Karma, if you haven't seen it, check it out. It describes a little bit about lessons, especially how things go when you're vibing low. Because a lot of people are confused. It seems like at some point people begin to think that their actions weren't tied to them in some way, or that they weren't important enough to have this effect on the world. So the video Karma addresses that issue of self-minimization, right? You thinking you so small and what you do is not really affecting anybody. But it really is. It's affecting everybody on a large scale. But anyway, so when you're vibing in that lower energy, you're not attracting anything good. There's no way that is going to possibly happen. And so the ascension process comes when you, after working in lower energy, which is self-hatred, any toxic behaviors that you engage in where there is hurt and pain as a result, all of those things are toxic. So once you get to a point where you are done, when you're fed up attracting those sort of things to your life and you just want something to change, it's your woke moment. Now, a lot of people are like, I'm woke. No. You're not woke if you out here acting in devil energy. You pretending. Stop talking about you woke and having people looking at you trying to see what woke look like. You sleep. You in a dang on coma. Sorry, I had a moment. But so you ask the Father or the universe, whoever it is you believe in, I'm ready. Please help me. Or, Father, I want a house. Or, Father, I'm tired of working. Or, Father, I'm tired of being in pain. I'm tired of being sad. Help me. Now, the Father understands that He lives in you. He put that in the good book so you can understand that He understands that. And so, when you ask Him for something, He's the Father, right? Only, let me back up. He is your Father. He is a combination of masculine and feminine. You understand what I'm saying? The perfect balance, okay? And if you're a man, you're a representative in physical form of His masculine side, but you are also composed of feminine, okay? You are a replication of the Father. Feminines, women, you too. If you were born a female, you are the physical representation of His feminine side. But you have masculine in you too, right? Feminine is nurturing, masculine is action, okay? It's protection, it's all of the stuff that Adam had to do in the Garden of Eden, okay? Everything Eve did is the feminine. Read the good book and take the lessons from it. You understand what I'm saying? Stop letting people tell you what their version of things is when the Bible is a living document and it speaks to the person who is talking to. You understand? You get your own understanding of things. Stop being lazy and letting people tell you what they think you should know. You can find that stuff out yourself. Read the good book. Take from it what you need to apply to better your life, to improve your quality of life. But when you ask the Father for help, He's not going to give you the fish. Bro, sister, ma'am. Why would you want that anyway? Why would you just want somebody to give you something? You don't even know what you're doing with what you got. So why would you pray for something you don't have a clue really what you're praying for? And like I always tell y'all, I'm not talking from a place of ignorance. I'm talking from a place of experience because I was there. I went through the dark night of the soul. I went through the ascension process. Life is proof of that. You understand what I'm saying? Don't look at somebody and let somebody tell you they've ascended. You know what I'm saying? When somebody have ascended, they are awakened to their gifts and they have access to the Father, and He grants you knowledge and understanding and peace. You get me? And so you asking for something, and He's not going to just give it to you. He's going to teach you how to fish. He's going to make sure you understand. And what you're asking for, He already knew you was going to ask for it. So it was already waiting on you at some point in time. You understand what I'm saying? On this day, you don't have it. But at this point in time, on this day, you were going to have it anyway because this is what you were going to go through. And so the ascension process involves you acknowledging not only your true self and the Father, but also your capabilities and your understanding of your greater part in the grand scheme of things. Now, during the dark night of the soul, I likened it to fire, right? Fire in the forest. Because when a fire hits a forest, when there's a forest fire, it destroys everything as much as it can. It destroys it, or so it appears, right? Because after the healing process, everything is begun anew. And humans realize that to the point that when they want to cause land into, when human actions have stripped the land of nutrients that were naturally there, or that have accumulated over millions of years, when the land becomes unable to sustain life anymore, fire is used to revitalize the soil, and life is able to begin anew. And that is the same thing that happens with the dark night of the soul. You are put through a spiritual fire, right? And it usually begins with an ego death. Now, the ego is a part of ourself that makes peace between our consciousness, which is our thinking self that is here in the world interacting. I'm driving. That's consciousness. You understand what I'm saying? I am aware. So consciousness is everything you are aware of. The subconscious is everything you're not aware of in your mind, but it's still happening. The subconscious is functioning all the time. So your ego is the mediator between those two things. Now, if your subconscious is damaged, meaning you have things there that you have not healed, and your subconscious has taken on a negative perspective, that's not going to work. And so your fire is going to be extremely intense. Your fire is going to be intense, and you can picture what I'm saying to you, okay? It's intense, and it can feel like the Father has abandoned you. I'm speaking to you what I know. And it is rooted in spiritual principles. It's rooted in religion. And it can be likened to the moment that Yeshua, the Lord and Savior, was on the cross and he screamed, "Abba, Father, why hast thou forsaken me?" Ooh. Because it's going to be that intense. Because if you want it, you're going to go through that fire. But you don't have to worry. You don't have to worry. What's on the other side is beyond anything you've ever experienced before. Speaking facts. It's beyond anything you've ever experienced before. And it gets you clarity. It gives you peace. And you don't know what you're going to do with that. You don't know what you're going to do with the clarity of mind and the peace you have after the Father has taken you on a journey that leads you through the fire that burns away all toxic things, thoughts, behaviors, and people. Because everybody that's with you at the beginning, most of them ain't going to make it to the end because they are still vibing low. And you cannot be around low vibing people when you vibing high. Bad things happen. Bad things happen when you are high vibing and you are around low vibing people. Okay, all types of stuff start going wrong. And that's the first sign. But God's going to separate you because your journey is unique to you. You might not be as hard-headed as I was. You understand what I'm saying? I'm a tough cookie. Very, very... That's saying a hard head make a soft butt. Sweetheart, you have no idea. But I was hard-headed, and it took a while for me to be able to listen and understand what I was being told. But I got there eventually, but it was after many, many rough lessons. Many tear-stained pillow nights. Do you hear me? But where I am now, I'd do it again. I'd do it again. Not none of that foolish stuff I was doing. And that don't even make sense to me. Why was I even doing that? It don't even make sense. I don't even know what I would have been thinking to be engaged in those type of activities. But I can tell you, there is a lot of shadow work involved. And just like the title implies, the shadow is a version of yourself where there is no light, right? If you're looking at your shadow, it is the thing cast by the reflection of the light on the body. But there is no light. It is caused by the reflection of light, the absence of light, your outline, right? So, that shadow work. I was talking about the burning of the people, places, and things. It's not like God. God do it. He leads you. He cares for you. He comforts you. His grace is sufficient. But according to your level of hard-headedness, that's how intense it will be. He ain't going to give you more than you can bear. Sometimes you're going to feel like you can't bear it, but then you're going to come out on the other side and realize you're stronger than you thought you was. Okay? You're going to be working through all of that stuff so that you are able to recognize it. It does you no good if he do it for you. Because these things in the world, they ain't going away. We spiritually fighting out here. You are human body and spirit. Those things seen and not seen. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? You both of them. So you got to work on that. And he's not going to do that for you because you got to be prepared for battle. Just because you were sin don't mean they stop coming for you. They come for you harder when you exceed. You asking for stuff and you don't even know the enemies that you asking for. You don't know the enemies that hear you. Oh, she think it's sleep. He think it's sleep. Oh, he want to be this and he want to be that. He want $1 million. God like, all right, you want $1 million? I'm going to give you $1 million. I'm going to show you how to make it. But I'm going to make sure you ain't going to be engaging in no foolery when you get it and hurting people who don't deserve it unnecessarily. I'm going to make sure you're the type of person that knows what to do with this type of resource. You understand what I'm saying? And so that is what the dark night of the soul is about. He's giving you what you want when you're going through that stuff. He's giving you what you're asking for. He's teaching you how to fish. And no, he has not abandoned you. Okay? He is there with you. And he has dispatched angels and guides, people here on earth to assist you along the path. Like me. I've been there. I don't know if I'm done yet. I feel like I'm done. I'm out here living in my truth, helping people, healing the world, one person at a time. And so, you know, if you are going through the dark night of the soul where it feel like back to back to back, things just fell apart all of a sudden. One day you was flying high, the next day you woke up and you didn't know what had hit you. It was time for you to begin your ascension process. And as long as you are paying attention to the lessons and learning everything that you need to from those lessons, you won't have to repeat them. And it should go by fairly quick for you with a sufficient amount of progress. And, you know, there are rewards along the way as well. With your elevation, every time you pass a test, you elevate. Something in your life changes for the better. Your quality of life changes over time. But you have to get to know yourself, and you have to get to know the Father. Because getting to know the Father is getting to know yourself, okay? You can do it. Deal with all that hurt and that pain. Deal with all of that hurt and that pain. It ain't serving you anyway. And why not be working on something that will better your life in the future? That'll better your life in the meantime. Time moves on anyway. Why would you just sit there idle? Well, you could be bettering yourself. 10 years is going to come. It's going to be 2022. Then it's going to be 2023. If you get into it now, by the time 2023 comes, you won't have to worry about the stuff you're worrying about now. Because you would have done the work to find a solution to these problems and be on to bigger and better problems. That's right. The problems don't stop. I don't care how successful you are. I don't care how blessed you are. The problems don't stop. You just become smarter and stronger, more capable of dealing with them. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if you are on your ascension journey, if you are going through the dark night of the soul, I want you to understand this. I love you, okay? If it feel like ain't nobody there, if it feel like you all alone, you are not. There are people out here who understand, who know exactly what you're going through, and I want you to know that you are amazing and that you can do this. And don't let no thoughts, nobody tell you different. You deserve everything that's coming to you once you get through this. But you have to go through it like we all do. Okay? You can do it. Once again, this is Clarice Corinn. Thank you for watching. I hope you are living your best life. And no matter what you're going through, you got it. Bye. Oh, no, not bad. And I'm not editing this part out either. Follow me on Instagram, okay? My information below. Connect with me on social media. I would love to talk to you. You know what I'm saying? Okay, now I'm leaving. Bye.